Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about something very important, which is how to inject insulin using an insulin pen. There is no doubt insulin pens have made a big advancement in diabetes care over the last few decades. The needle of the insulin pen is very small, so makes it much less painful than injecting by other means. The pen itself is very convenient to use, can be carried with you, has a good shelf life, and it's very easy to administer, as we will see how. So the parts of the injection process are as follows. You need alcohol swab to clean the skin. Of course, you need the skin itself, which I'm going to utilize this pad as an example or a demo for the skin injection. You need the pen of insulin and the pen needle. We're going to talk about more about each of these components as we get to the injection part, the demo part. But a few things about the insulin pen first, because I want to show you the parts of it and how to utilize it ideally. This is an insulin pen, or a demo of an insulin pen. It has the following parts. You have the cap, which is removable. Then you have the reservoir where you have the insulin. Because the insulin here is transparent, you don't see any color, but you can know how much insulin is left in your reservoir by the sight of this orange thing, which is called the plunger. The plunger is used as the pump that pushes insulin, depending on how many units you decide on from the knob. And the more you utilize the insulin in the reservoir, the closer this plunger gets to the end of the pen. One question that a lot of people ask is, how do I know that my insulin pen is about to run out of insulin? And the answer is, well, you can just look at the plunger and see where it is in relationship to the end of the pen. If it's really close or almost at the end of the pen, then it means that you're about to run out of insulin from this pen. You need a new one. Next, you have some information written here on this body of the pen. Of course, you can read here demo. Of course, it's a demo pen, but one important information is the date of expiration that you will find on the pen itself. Now, one important thing to remember is that date of expiration really applies or works if you don't utilize the pen. If you're just keeping it in storage in the fridge, and you need to leave it in the fridge, not the freezer. If you keep it without using it, then the date of expiration becomes the date that's written on the body of the pen or on the box of insulin on the outside. But if you start using the pen, then ideally you want to be finished with the pen within a month, because afterwards the quality of the insulin in the pen, even if you have stored it appropriately, might not be as good, might not be as effective. So that's an important thing to remember. Next, we have here the dial and the window. Now, this window helps you determine how many units of insulin you're about to deliver. You can see that the pointer here points at 0, so it is set at 0. But if we turn the knob, then we will see the numbers change. Let's say I want to give 10 units, so I'm dialing here to 10. And let's say I want to give 12, I'm going to dial to 12. But if I want to just dial 11, then it's between 10 and 12. Insulin pens, depending on which brand you use, can be slightly different in how they determine the dose or what kind of grades you have, but the principle is the same. So the knob at the end of the pen has two values or two purposes. One is to determine the dose of insulin you're going to inject by rolling the knob, just like we did right now. The other function is by pressing on this knob, you're going to give the insulin. Let's see how that works in action. Okay, so this is the skin where we're going to inject. There are 3 parts. I mean, it's a demo, of course, for the skin where we're about to inject. Insulin injections are what we call subcutaneous. Sub means under, cutaneous means the skin. So it is given in the fat under the skin. What are the places that you can give it in? Any place where you have fat under the skin, you can give an insulin injection. But the ideal places, or most commonly used places, would be on the sides of the abdomen, 2 inches away from the belly button, and the top of the thighs, and the back of the arms. I'm going to do more explanation about this in future episodes. But let's today, for the purpose of going through it, decide that this part is the side of the abdomen, and you're going to give the insulin injection. So the first thing that we do, of course, like I said, is to clean the site with alcohol swab, like this. Let it dry out. Now we're going to prepare our insulin. So you see the insulin pen here, and let's say you decide that you're going to give 10 units. All right, you have the pen needle, which goes on the top of the pen. This is how I'm going to prepare it. There is this green tab that I'm going to remove. And now this pen needle is ready to be screwed on top of the insulin pen. Notice that the pen needle has a large cap and a small cap. The large cap, I'm going to remove it, and I'm going to keep it aside. Remember, this large cap, I'm going to need it again. Don't throw it away. The small cap, I'm going to remove it, and I will not need it again. It can be discarded. And you notice the pen needle, of course, is small because we don't need a large needle to give subcutaneous injection. So now, how many units am I going to give? Let's say I decided to give 10 units. So I'll roll the knob here to the number 10. And you see the pointer points at the number 10. All right, good. Now we're ready. We're going to give the injection. Here, I'm going to pinch the skin, and in between my fingers, I'm going to give the injection straight in, then inject until I reach 0. I need to count till 10, and then remove it straight out. Remember, inject straight in, push the plunger until it reaches the number 0, then count till 10 seconds, and then remove it. After I remove the needle, after having delivered the insulin injection, I'm going to cap it with the large cap, not with the small cap. So again, I'm going to screw it on top like this, and then I'm going to remove the needle itself together with the large cap from the end of my pen. As you can see, now there is no needle. I removed it, and here the needle and the large cap surrounding it, and that I'm going to dispose of typically in a needle container, and then I'm going to recap the pen, put it in the fridge again to be reused. And that's the process of giving an insulin injection through the pen. On the next episode, I'm going to go into more details, tips and tricks of how to give the insulin, some things that could go wrong, how to fix them, how to avoid pain, and so forth. And until then, be well. Have a good day.